Welcome to 48th Street. Bit of a running session to start with, then I'll show you what I've been up to. Another class 108. Meanwhile, on the helix, we have a deltic as the class 108s make their way down. Heading off across the viaducts. And I cut the power because look what's happened. The one's caught the other one up. Anyway, a good time now to show you what I've been up to. Right, okay, so we're looking at that whole area, and you can see I took a little bit of advice off the comments, and I have added some of the foam to actually put slight banks next to the road, which are around about here. So initially I was trying to work out how I could get this road down to the level here, and then it occurred to me what I could actually do is bring it down to the level here, which I've done. So you can see we have a road coming up a bit of a slope here. Take the notice of these walls. These are just put in, I suppose, just to see how it would look, but there will be walls here. Then this area here is actually going to be a fire station. So this is probably in keeping with the fuel depot, which I'll come back to because I want to talk about some of these buildings that I've bought. So the road continues on, levels out slightly here, and then continues up the rise and off into the distance. So you can see where the darker bits here, around here, this is where I've been adding a lot of the grated foam just to fill it in. And there's a huge amount that's gone in. It's probably, 1.5 inches deep, and it's taken nearly a week to dry. You can see it's still soft, but that's just due to how thick it was. But once it's completely dry, it will go solid. So, working through this slowly but surely, the plan sort of came to me with the idea of putting these houses on a terrace. So this is designed for 2 rows of houses, 2 houses here, and then houses going down this terrace, so they will all join together. So I've measured quite accurately, and then putting this 3mm MDF as the base. Then the road comes down to here, this will be obviously the station, car park area and various other things, and because the track is on a 3mm cork bed, the platforms have to be raised up 3mm, which when the 3mm goes next to the 3mm MDF road here, that will be exactly the right level. So that will work out quite well. So looking at it, now that this whole board is actually filled in. So quite a bit of work as per usual, but amazing once you actually, I suppose, stop procrastinating and start working on it. Sometimes the pieces come together. So this is the road bridge which we've put in here, and a road obviously coming down. At the back of those houses you can see a bit of a path that will look reasonably good to connect those back alleys. I'm going to have to come up with some sort of steps for obviously between the houses. That won't be a bit of an issue. Whilst looking for potential buildings, I stumbled on a website called MS Models, having first seen a few items on eBay. So I went onto the website, and they do models in various scales, but obviously N gauge is the one we want. And these, I believe, are actual model replicas, and they're very well finished, very sturdy. The roofs that go on all fit together. So that is that building. We have a mess building which also has accessories to go on it, and I also purchased this, I think it's called Rosslyn Cottage, but you can see the detail on it is quite superb, and the good thing I like about it is that I can go onto their website and see these models painted authentically, so you've got sort of a bit of a guide to work with. So the website's very good. You can shop by scale. Mike's very good to deal with. You get emails back, and I think cost-wise, I think they're great value for money. So it's certainly an alternative to what's on the market. So MS models, very pleased. Now, one other thing I want to mention is track cleaning. So, whilst I've been doing this scenery and adding lots of PVA and then PVA mix, so this area was quite damp. But one thing I noticed is that this area seemed to tarnish very quickly, and cleaned the track and came back a couple of days later, and this area was again sort of not shiny. So does that lead me to believe that dampness makes the oxidization process speed up? I don't know, but what I have been using are these DC Concepts blocks, which are by no means as abrasive as others. So you do seem to polish the track. And one thing that I always do, particularly on points, is make sure you're very careful which way you go, so you're not forcing against the tie bar here. So probably just be really gentle, and obviously after you've done that, key thing is with these you can wash them with washing up liquid and get all that oxide off, so you end up with them back the face like that, because obviously if they're just black covered in oxide, you're probably not cleaning that great. So that's a question, because we have obviously very hot climate here during the summer, and we've had a massive amount of rain as well. So just interesting how this being damp, not sure, but it wasn't happening further down where there was nothing damp in that area. So that's an interesting question. So that's pretty much it, really. So what will I be doing next? Well, the road will also disappear just under here through a road tunnel, so trucks will be able to get into the fuel depot. But I will be putting obviously a retaining wall here. I'm thinking it's going to be, all this area will be red brick, as opposed to the stone that I've used in most other places. And then once that's done, I've obviously got to build quite a few more houses, and then I can start on the station, which will be I'm not going to be using the those platforms. I'm going to be doing my own using the Pico brick walls. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. So with that, I will see you on the next episode. Bye.